Three. And here I am with Will Swisher, baseball player, available. Any ladies out there? Number one in the theater, number one in your hearts as well.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna test you. To see how well you know this stuff. So on a 1 to 10, how important is you being from Indiana here? We're in the smack middle of the Midwest. Like, how important is cultures to you?
Well, I don't deal with them on a daily basis, so like 5. Kind of indifferent.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna test you a couple questions. See what you know. Test the waters a little bit. What continent is Australia?
Australia's home, right? Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
I think so.
Yeah, we're a little harder. Name 2 countries that start with U.
Oh, I know one. Uruguay.
Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia.
It's a lie.
Not you.
No, it's not. It's the one that's by Russia.
Yugoslavia?
Yugoslavia.
That's not right. No. I almost said Uranus. That's a planet.
Did you guys hear Pluto's a planet now?
I guess
It's a planet
Yugoslavia,
again.
even though I'm pretty sure that's a
Yugoslavia.
lie. Yeah.
How about United States?
Oh, duh. United States.
What like how important and relevant is this to you? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is learning about cultures for you? 9. How relevant is it in your present life? Like here being in Indiana, how is it?
Pretty relevant.
Pretty relevant. So now I'm going to ask you a series of questions. It's just what you know. It'll be history, facts, figures, geography questions, stuff like that. To see what you know. Who was Fidel Castro?
He's Cuban, right? Cuban.
I got an Italian dictator last time. Okay, and who was Mao Zedong?
Chinese. I don't know what he did.
And can you name 3 capital cities in Europe? Berlin, okay. And what else?
London.
Okay. Moving on. Give me one from Latin America. Brazil. How relevant is this stuff to see, if there's a connection between like what you know and what is like relevant, So on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is learning cultures to you?
No, come back.
It's
Come
pretty
back.
important, especially because there's not very many cultures here in Greece. Yeah.
Do you interact with any other people from any other cultures or things? Being in Indiana and such, Midwest?
Not a ton. I have a little bit with more of like the Hispanic cultures, but that's about it.
So now I'm going to ask you a series of questions and, test the waters a little, see who was Fidel Castro?
No idea.
No idea. Let's see. Adolf Hitler.
Who is he?
Yeah, who was he?
Like,
What do you know about him?
he was a bad person.
By person, do you know where he was from?
Like the Holocaust.
Yeah, the Holocaust. But do you know where he was from and stuff? Or?
Where he was from?
Yeah, well, what he did or something.
Germany. Is he?
Yeah, okay. You got it correct. Yeah, can you name 2 European cities, capital cities preferably?
European?
Yes. No? Can you name a country that starts with U? Yeah. United States?
Yes, United States.
Uruguay, Uganda.
Sure.
Sarah Latif.
And I'll be asking you a couple questions to see what you know. But before, I'm going to ask you how relevant this is to you. So, how relevant is learning cultures to you?
It's very relevant.
On a scale of 1 to 10?
I would say a 10.
A 10? So would you say that you've been around with people, or like you've intermingled with other people from different cultures, backgrounds and stuff?
Yes, I have.
You have. And any weird thing, or is it weird getting along with other people, or like hard at first?
Yes, it's difficult at first, but then you just have to learn to adjust and to communicate well with everybody else.
Do you have any weird instances? Any strange or awkward moments?
There was an awkward moment in Jordan when I found out that a woman is not supposed to look a man in the eye, or else it's miscommunication. And I was walking down the road, and this guy just stopped right in front of me, and I couldn't do anything but look up. And it was really embarrassing.
Okay, so now I'm gonna test what you know. I'm gonna ask you a series of questions: geography, history, facts, figures, dates, stuff like that.
Oh dear.
So,
Okay.
who was Fidel Castro?
He was I guess he was a dictator of Cuba.
Okay, and do you know who Mao Zedong was?
Yes, he was kind of the dictator of China.
What about Napoleon Bonaparte?
He was the leader of the French army right after the French Revolution.
Right after the French Revolution. Okay, so now I'm gonna ask you geography, see how well you know. Can you name?
Oh my word!
Can
you name 2 European cities, capital cities?
European capital cities. Okay. Amsterdam, Holland, and Paris, France.
Okay. Can you name 2 Asian capital cities?
2 Asian capital cities,
Tokyo and Beijing. Okay, so now I'm gonna have a visual aid. I'm gonna turn it around, and I'm gonna see if do you know. I'm gonna ask her this. Do you know? Can you identify the flags of each and every one of these countries?
Okay.
Let's start with this one right here.
That one? Is that one? It's not Argentina, even though it has the Sol de Mayo. I think it's another South American country.
Yeah. No. Close. No. South.
Okay.
A little more south. Closer to Argentina. Kind of close. There's Paraguay and then there's Uruguay.
Okay.
What about that one?
That one's Russia?
Russia. That one.
Is that Zambia?
Close. Kind of. You got the continent, but not the country.
Zaire?
Huh?
Zaire.
No, a little south.
Zimbabwe?
More.
South Africa?
South Africa. Final one.
Which one is this one?
Yep.
That one is a European country. Is it Denmark?
No.
No.
Kind of close.
It's a Scandinavian country.
Norway? Sweden?
Sweden. There we go.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Sarah.
No problem.
Chris.
Sherlock.
Sherlock. Okay. Many you guys probably know him. You know, he's a popular man on campus. So, Chris, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. Culture, you know, see how much this means to you. Because you know, a lot of Americans feel that since the United States is primarily where a lot of business is made, we tend to feel that the world can adjust to us, not we adjust to them. So I'm gonna ask you what you think.
Okay.
How important do you feel learning about other cultures is?
Huge.
Huge. On a scale of 1 to 10.
10.
How relevant is it to you?
Very. It's what I want to do for a full-time job.
Oh, really? Well, tell us more about that.
I want to be a missionary in a foreign country, so studying their culture and understanding how they think and work is huge.
Any idea? Papua New Guinea. Wow. That's Oceania, I believe? Yeah, Oceania. Wow. Small little place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So now, before you get to over there, do you feel it's important to learn the language? Are you trying to learn the language?
Not yet, but I will look to learn the language before I get there.
That's interesting. Do you know anybody from other places or something? Or have you connected with anybody from Papua New Guinea or any other country?
I know a couple of people who have been to Papua New Guinea, talked to them about it, and then other countries. I've been to Namibia, Africa for 3 months. I've been to Israel.
To
so
Israel?
I've gotten to travel a little bit.
So you have some exposure.
Yeah.
Do you feel that that changes you?
Yes, absolutely.
It changes you. In what way?
It helps like broaden my perspective that the way I think about things is not the only way to think about things.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What about seeing things, how people live from different from people's perspective? How would you feel? How's your perspective changed?
Ooh, my perspective, realizing, I think it's kind of broken down some pride in my life, like changing my perspective from, America being the right, the only, to realizing like God's created so many diverse populations and cultures around the world that each have like glimpses of who God is and of His truth in different ways.
So there's a saying that learning about cultures and languages makes you more human. How would you agree with that? What do you think about that?
I completely agree with that. It makes you, let's see, how would you put this? It makes you realize that you are not God. You can't create truth. Truth is transcendent, right? So it goes beyond. It makes you more human in that you relate to more people. Like you see what they're going through. You understand that really at the core we struggle with a lot of similar stuff, even though it looks different in different places. So, yeah.
Okay.